choices. Kneel or die.
Sometimes I think a good fight accomplishes more than all the learning in the world. These words from Kent Nelson, the sorcerer, who takes on the mantle of Dr. Fate, perfectly sum up the mystique and power that surround this captivating character in the DC universe. Imagine a world where ancient sorcery collides with modern heroics, where a helmet becomes a conduit to cosmic forces beyond imagination.
Where are you?
You followed me?
My mind and body can exist in different places at the same time. Did you
Dr. Fate isn't just a hero, he's a supernatural sentinel, a guardian of the balance between order and chaos and a bridge between mortal limits and ethereal might. But there's more to this story than just spells and battles. It's a journey of cosmic showdowns, mentorship from beyond the veil, and a perpetual dance between darkness and light. Get ready to dive into the mystic depths of Dr. Fate's anatomy, where the line between hero and sorcerer blurs and the universe itself becomes the ultimate battleground. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin.
Created from the soul of mortal man and Nabu's own helmet.
Who is Dr. Fate? How does he get his powers? In the 1920s, young Kent Nelson and his archaeologist dad, Sven, stumbled upon a hidden pyramid in the Mesopotamian sands. Little did they know this pyramid was holding an ancient party guest named Nabu, who had been napping for millennia. Unfortunately, releasing him also released a killer gas that zapped Kent's dad. Plot twist, Nabu had orchestrated this gas-powered exit plan to snatch a new host. But hold on to your ambulance because the story's just getting started. Nabu became Kent's personal Yoda, teaching him the cosmic ropes and giving him powers that would make superheroes envious. We're talking about some serious magic stuff. Plus, Nabu did some fancy grief lifting, removing Kent's emotional baggage like a therapist. So, armed with an amulet, a stylish cloak, and a helmet that would make any knight jealous, Kent became the heroic magician Dr. Fate. While he jet-setted the mystical escapades, Nabu's voice echoed through the helmet like a supernatural GPS for heroic deeds. Fate even found love in the form of the brainy Inza Kramer, who became his ride-or-die partner in romance and crime fighting. Wearing the helmet of Fate wasn't a walk in the park, but it sure made Kent one spellbinding superhero. With powers to build energy constructs, whip up mystical barriers, and even bring back the dearly departed, Fate was a great power. So if you're in the market for otherworldly adventures and a helmet that's as much a blessing as it is a cosmic headspin, Dr. Fate's got you covered.
And Nabu's own helmet, the helmet of Fate, would act as the anchor for his spirit.
Does he simply become an avatar of Nabu or gain a connection to Nabu's consciousness? We know after the demise of Kent's father, Nabu decides to play guardian angel to the kid, molding him into a warrior through some mentorship. Here's where it gets tricky. When Kent becomes Dr. Fate, he's not just putting on a cool helmet, he's kind of sharing his body with Nabu. He's essentially Nabu's sock puppet, or should I say avatar. It's like they're roommates, with Nabu sometimes taking over the steering wheel while Kent's in the back seat. But Kent isn't totally powerless. He can still have a say. Being Dr. Fate isn't just about looking fancy, it's like signing up for a supernatural mission. See, there's this big cosmic balance thing going on between order and chaos, and Dr. Fate is Team Order. The Chaos crew likes to stir up trouble, and it's up to Dr. Fate to keep everything in check. So, it's not a one-person show. There's a whole gang of cosmic forces at play. They're like puppet masters pulling the strings of reality, and guess who's right in the middle? Yep, our helmet-wearing hero, Dr. Fate. He's dealing with all sorts of crazy stuff like fighting cosmic villains and keeping things from getting too chaotic. Long story short, Dr. Fate's journey is part action, part cosmic balancing act, and all things supernatural.
A rare mineral of magic properties found only in Kandak. So he enslaved his own people.
How does his helmet work? Does his helmet work for anyone who wears it? For those who are inquisitive about the helmet of Fate, here's the thing. When you pop that helmet on, you're essentially playing host to Nabu, the sorcerer extraordinaire. Nabu used to fully possess his hosts like a ghost in the machine. Now he's more of an advisor, like a wizardly Siri whispering in your ear. Think of it like sharing an Airbnb with a wise ancient being. Typically, Nabu prefers a seasoned magician or someone with potential, but honestly he's not too picky. In an instance of desperation, anyone wearing the helmet works. Still, most hosts get the Naboo stamp of approval chosen by him and the Lords of Order. Slipping on a helmet is like getting a turbo boost in the magical department. You're not just wearing a helmet, you're gaining magical superpowers that include telekinesis, flight, enhanced strength, and even a PhD in supernatural know-how. So whether you're a seasoned sorcerer, an accidental magic magnet, or a med student stumbling upon an enchanted headpiece, the Helmet of Fate has been a ticket to a wild ride through the DC universe. He can move any planet into the sun. Dr. Fate isn't just about the fancy helmet, he's got some serious telekinetic stuff going on. While he might not be on the level of Jean Grey or Professor X, he's no slouch. We're talking about a guy who can use his brain power to move stuff around like some cosmic moving company. He once flexed his mind muscles so hard that he moved an entire planet. Yeah, you heard it right. He casually shifted a whole planet right into the sun. Now that's some next level housewarming. But don't think the party stops when he takes off the helmet. Even without it, Dr. Fate still got some telekinetic oomph. Sure, he might not be lifting planets, but he can definitely give your average car a lift or two. It's like having telekinesis on speed dial, whether he's rocking the helmet or not. He's the sorcerer who can rearrange reality with a thought.
I know you can hear me.
Can he read minds across dimensions? He's got a killer mind-reading game. This sorcerer's got telepathy that would envy mind readers everywhere. His tactics include diving into minds, predicting enemy moves, and sifting through their thoughts like a pro. In battle, it's like he's playing chess with his adversary's brains. Interrogation? A cakewalk for him. He's tweaking memories, tossing out delusions, and raising mental shields like it's no big deal. And guess what? He's not limited by dimension. He's reading minds across cosmic distances. So while his helmet might catch your eye, it's his mind that's the real weapon. Dr. Fate's not just rearranging reality, he's rearranging thoughts, and that's a telepathic power play you don't want to mess with. Where does he live? Step aside, matey, because Dr. Fate's got a super cooler living situation. When not fighting evil or bringing order to the cosmos, you will find him chilling in the Tower of Fate, a place that sounds as awesome as it is. It's not your average tower, it's a spire that's so beyond time. Sure, it's not winning any creativity awards with its name, but who cares when you've got a place that's basically a superhero Swiss Army knife. This place acts like a safe house for anyone who dons the helmet. It's got a prime location hanging out near Salem, but existing in its own time zone-free bubble. And don't be fooled by its exterior, it's bigger on the inside like a TARDIS for magic folks. Now, here's where it gets really cool. This tower is like Fort Knox for mystical artifacts. Dr. Fate stashed all sorts of ancient power-packed goodies in there. Think spells, magical defenses, and enchantments that'll make any burglar's head spin. Sneaking in? Good luck. Planning an attack? You might as well sign up for a cosmic smackdown. So while Dr. Fate is known for his helmet and epic powers, his Tower of Fate is not something you want to miss out on. Can he phase through anything like Martian Manhunter? Dr. Fate's not just a one-trick magic artist, he's got some phasing skills up his mystical sleeves. Yep, just like the Martian Manhunter, this sorcerer can turn intangible. Fate's like a cosmic ghost, waltzing right through the walls and solid objects like it's nobody's business. He's like the ultimate spy, slipping through anything and everything. But here's the catch. This super trick isn't foolproof. If his foes decide to play the magical block with spells, his intangible gig gets a no-go. So when it comes to phasing through stuff, Dr. Fate's got the magical moves. By walking through walls and dodging a few bullets, this sorcerer proves that he's not just a master of spells, he's a master of some seriously cool tricks. The unlimited spells of Dr. Fate. This sorcerer is like the Grand Master of spellcasting, and let's be real, he's not holding back. You see, Fate's rocking the Helmet of Fate, which is basically a mystical penthouse for Naboo, and this guy's been practicing magic longer than you've been binge-watching shows. From energy blasts to cosmic doorways, Dr. Fate's magical repertoire is like a menu of unlimited cosmic delights. The catch? Well, he can't just wave his hands and undo someone else's spells. There are limits to his cosmic card trick. Naboo's given Fate a crash course in the cosmic classroom, and while his magical syllabus is vast, it's not entirely complete. Think of Fate as an earthbound Lord of Order, flexing his magical muscles through spellcasting and vivid visualizations. Whether he's blasting baddies or opening portals to who knows where, Dr. Fate's the spellcasting savant you'd want on your side in any magical melee. Is he a real doctor like Doctor Strange? Kent Nelson, the guy under the mystical helmet, wasn't just playing dress-up, nope. He had a pre-teen gig as Dr. Fate, but guess what? He also went on to become a full-fledged medical doctor, just like Doctor Strange. That's definitely an overachieving superhero. Kent hung up his cape and swapped it for a stethoscope, running a private practice alongside his nurse wife, Inza. Yep, they were basically the power couple of medicine. But as we know, Kent's post-magical life wasn't all about medicine. Oh no, he kicked it up a notch by becoming an archaeologist, because apparently being a top-notch doctor wasn't enough. He had to be a history-hunting superhero too. Now, let's not forget about the other doctor in the magical Marvel realm, Doctor Strange. Just like our helmet-wearing hero, Strange was all about the medicine before diving into the mystical deep end. And hey, both of these docs have surgical skills to boot. So whether you're talking about Dr. Fate or Doctor Strange, it's clear that these magical medics aren't just saving lives. They're rewriting reality and reshaping dimensions, all while keeping their medical licenses squeaky clean. Kent Nelson and his wife fused together and become Dr. Fate. You know, Kent Nelson met his lady love Inza. They're not your average couple, they're comic book legends. Inza wasn't just Mrs. Nelson, he became part of the magical mayhem herself. You see, their love story isn't just about flowers and chocolates, nope, they fused together. Yep, like cosmic partners in crime, to become Dr. Fate. It's like relationship goals taken to a whole new dimension. Later, Inza went solo, donning the helmet of Naboo and diving into her own magical journey. Now, let's be real. Inza's no damsel in distress. She's not just hanging around waiting for her superpowered hubby to save the day. She's a magic-wielding badass who can hold her own in the chaos. She's not just a partner, she's a great force in herself. But hey, wielding cosmic power isn't all glitter and rainbows. She had a few rough patches, but nothing could keep this duo down. So, Kent and Inza's love story isn't just about romantic candlelit dinners. It's about cosmic fusion, magical mastery, and rewriting the rules of love and power. Inza didn't just marry a superhero, she became one herself, and their love story is anything but ordinary. Is Dr. Fate immortal? In the world of DC's Black Adam, things take a surprising turn with the apparent demise of Dr. Fate, portrayed by none other than Pierce Brosnan, the former 007. Now, if you're thinking that a superhero death in the movie is as predictable as a villain's monologue, you're not entirely off the mark. Dr. Fate's farewell might not be a jaw-dropping shocker, given the usual heroic final bid adieu. However, it's the lead-up that would keep you thinking. Fate's decision to confront Sabak alone is the twist that gets eyebrows raising. Why the embrace of Fate's cold hand, you ask? Dr. Fate was actually looking forward to this cosmic checkout. In his nifty helmet, he's been juggling some serious power and cosmic insight. After centuries of battling evil, Fate finds solace in his own departure. It's like a superhero's retirement plan with a dash of cosmic wisdom. But hang on there. Isn't this the superhero universe where death often has an undo button? The odds of a dramatic resurrection are as common as capes, yet Fate's exit doesn't seem like your typical tease. No foreshadowing or secret backup plan. While comics can twist reality even before you could imagine, for now it appears that Fate might just be hanging up his magical helmet for good. Is he powerful without his helmet? We're aware that Dr. Fate's power lies in his iconic helmet, the mystical artifact that houses the ancient spirit Naboo and grants its wearer incredible magical abilities. However, when he's stripped of his headgear, he becomes more like a superhero without his cape. Still formidable, but missing that extra oomph. Kent Nelson, the man behind the helmet, possesses a range of innate powers without the magical headpiece. These include immortality and vulnerability, telekinesis, flight, as well as expertise in occultism and medicine. He chose to distance himself from the helmet due to its demanding nature. Donning the helmet meant surrendering consciousness to Naboo, effectively becoming a passenger in his own body unless Naboo decided otherwise, which wasn't often. Still, Kent holds his own even without the helmet's might. He wields his own magic, telepathy, and superhuman speed and strength that have been compared to the Man of Steel himself. His artifacts, the Amulet of Anubis and the Cloak of Destiny, further amplify his abilities. For instance, the amulet bolsters his magic and acts as a pocket dimension for past Dr. Fate's souls, while the cloak enhances his flight and durability. However, let's not kid ourselves. The helmet is the star of the show. Without it, Dr. Fate's powers are scaled down like a wizard without his wand. He's still impressive, but it's the iconic headgear that propels him into the realms of the truly extraordinary. So, while Kent Nelson can hold his own, it's the helmet that truly makes Dr. Fate the master of mysticism in the DC universe. Marvelous verdict. From the moment Kent Nelson dons that helmet, he becomes a vessel for the power of Nabu, and his journey transcends mortal limits. Dr. Fate is a narrative that explores the interplay of humanity and the supernatural. With Kent and Nabu sharing the driver's seat, the cosmic scales of existence are delicately balanced. In a world where chaos and order collide, Dr. Fate emerges as the steadfast guardian, a hero whose power is matched only by his responsibility. So, as we bid adieu to this exploration, remember that beyond the spells and incantations, Dr. Fate's story is a reminder that even in the realm of magic, the essence of heroism remains resolutely human. If you like our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.
I am Dr. Fate.